Right. Yep. Welcome back, Gary. How was the International Book Fair in Frankfurt?
Great. I cultivated a number of interesting contacts that could lead to great opportunities. I also participated in a very important conference on the current state of affairs in the international book market.
Oh, do tell, Gary.
Yes, okay, but just a brief summary because I've really got to get going. Mr. Stevens wants a report on the trade fair ASAP, and I've been away for 3 days, so I've got a ton of work to catch up on. In any case, a number of the top company representatives from the largest international publishing houses participated. The most interesting presentation was surely that of John Schumann, one of the top experts in the publishing sector.
And what did he have to say?
Excuse me, just a moment. It's one of my contacts from Frankfurt. As I was saying, John Schumann, using the most current data as his starting point, he determined that the publishing market is growing slowly and that the number of readers is stagnant. It's the readers who already buy books and who want to increase the size of their libraries who are responsible for sales.
To cut a long story short, the current crisis has been around for a while.
Unfortunately, yes. Just the other day, a friend of mine from Amsterdam in the publishing trade was telling me that his company has had to let 15 people go since the beginning of the year.
You're kidding. Does that mean that we could become redundant?
No, Rachel, I just finished telling you that the trade fair was a huge success. We've just got to look at these things over the long term. It's the latest technologies that will offer the most success in this market.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about digital editing. We are on the cusp of a revolution in publishing. In other words, the transition from printed publishing to digital publishing.
I'm afraid I don't agree with you, Gary. Internet, email, CD-ROM, DVDs, and all electronic gadgets put together will never substitute the joy of reading a book.
I know, Rachel, you are a Luddite, but this is the future. The owner of a multimedia publishing house from Stockholm told me that they were able to greatly lower production, distribution, and warehousing costs, all due to digital publishing. Not only that, but just think of the level of interaction we can achieve with readers via internet. And besides that, just a moment, excuse me.
I bet it's one of your important contacts from Frankfurt.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is.
Judging from your expression, I'd say that these contacts are mostly female.
Oh, hi, Victoria. Why weren't you at the meeting this morning?
Which meeting?
The meeting that Mrs. Collins called with all the department heads to come to grips with the situation. And I quote, to discuss the means with which we can improve both production and company efficiencies.
No one told me anything. I bet she did that on purpose, my darling boss. She wanted to get back at me for a mistake I made on a shipment. She always keeps me out of the loop on all the important developments and makes me do the work of a secretary. I hate her.
Come on, Victoria. Chin up. Things will get better.
I'm not sure about that, Paul. Anyway, tell me, what did you discuss at the meeting?
Well, you can imagine the tone that Mrs. Collins used. She prefers cold and distant. She urged us all to work even harder to overcome this difficult moment for the company.
According to her, we should be working 24/7, 365.
Listen to this. She told the warehouse manager to calculate the efficiency of workers more precisely their tasks, and if necessary, to lengthen their hours. Then she invited Mr. Rover, the personnel director, to evaluate the necessity of any new hiring. She told him that from now on, Each and every short-term or long-term plan must first be evaluated and approved by her.
I always said she was a dictator.
Yeah. And she claims that we should be delighted at her flexibility, and that many corporate heads she knows would just resort with a huge personnel cuts to improve the situation.
Oh, what an understanding woman.
You bet. The companies need to meet deadlines and to work within strict budgets in order to keep clients satisfied and remain competitive in the market. Referring to you, she reminded us all that delays and errors in projects are absolutely unacceptable. What are you doing, Victoria? Are you taking notes?
No, I'm writing my letter of resignation.
Did you hear what she said? She said, I'm writing my letter of resignation. That means, letter of resignation, it means she wants to resign, she wants to leave the company and quit her job. Poor Victoria. Well, let's now turn back to what we said at the beginning of the lesson, which was international fairs, and look at some of the language which is useful for you related to those. Now, if you decide to represent your company in an international fair, you are called an exhibitor. Look at the screen. An exhibitor. And what you have in order to display your things is a stand. It can be small, it can be large, but it's a stand. Also, we use booth. Now, when you go to the fair, the hard work begins because you have to set up or build the stand. Then, when it's ready, you display, which means to show, you display your goods, your products, or your services. Then at the end of the week, usually it's a week, you take down the stand. Now, if you're on the stand, it's really hard work, and I want to help you with some phrases that can be useful when visitors are walking past. Now, as they walk past, you often want to invite them onto the stand. Sometimes they will talk to you directly, but other times they just want to come on and look around. So you could say, do come in and have a look around. Have a look around. Now, another thing we use, which is very nice, is please feel free to browse. Please feel free to browse. Browse, which is also computer language, it means to look at things calmly. Okay? You don't want to abandon them, so you could say, if you need my help, don't hesitate to ask. If you need my help, don't hesitate to ask me. Okay? Now, obviously, with potential clients, there comes a time where you will be talking prices. So, often a question that they will ask you is, what price discount do you offer on large quantities? Price discount, okay? Or what discount do you offer on upfront payment, which is an American term, or cash in advance, which is the British term. So that means you pay upfront. You pay before receiving the goods. Now, when you're answering questions like that, it depends on the person you're talking to because they might be from Japan, from Germany, from America. So an important question to ask is, which currency would you like me to quote you in? Which currency? It could be yen, it could be pounds, it could be French francs, for example. So which currency would you like me to quote you in? Now, you could also say, for example, our price is X works, fob, or chief. Now, these might be familiar to you. They are the specific Incoterms. Incoterm means the international contract terms. Okay? Let's move on. Payment. Now that's an important consideration. The question could be, what are your terms of payment? And you might want to answer, well, we usually work with a letter of credit. And as we said before in the previous lesson, a letter of credit is probably the safest term of payment. Then delivery questions could be, how long will it take you to deliver after confirmation of the letter of credit? Other possibilities are, they will ask you, what are your delivery conditions? Can you shorten your delivery time? Now, shorten means reduce it. So can you shorten your delivery time to, for example, 15 days? And another thing is transportation. Which freight forwarders, do you remember that? Shipping agents. Which shipping agents or freight forwarders do you use? Now, if you have to produce things, then you could ask the question, for example, or state, we need 60 days production time. Another word for production time is we need 60 days production time, lead time from receipt of the letter of credit. That's very important. These conditions are extremely important to state at the beginning of your business relationships. Then, when you've talked and when it's time for the client to leave, you exchange business cards. So here is my business card with our company details. You can reach me on this number anytime during office hours. Notice we say you can reach me, you can phone me, you can contact me. Then after the fair, you can say, for example, let me know if you need anything, or give me a call if you have any queries. Queries, another word for questions. Don't hesitate to contact me if you need help, okay? And then just wish them have a good trip back, because they've probably traveled from another country. All right, well, I hope that helps you in some way to deal with the situation when you're on the stand. And good luck, because it's really hard work. Okay, thanks very much, and see you in the next lesson. Bye.